But first, a quick word from FanDuel. The NFL season may have wrapped up, but the playoffs are getting ready to get underway, and the best time to get in on the action for playoff football is right now with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed just by placing a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. The app is easy to use, and there are so many different ways to bet, including live same-game parlays. You can find bets in the new Explorer tab. You can make a parlay in the Parlay Hub, which is the best way to find popular parlays, and much, much more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL. Our winning ticket today comes from Akron Drede, who turned $10 into $392 yesterday on a Cavs-Nets same-game parlay. Only had 3 parts. Bridges over 20 points, Mitchell over 30, Levert over 20. All 3 hit, 26, 45, and 21. And our guy Akron Drede turned $10 into $392.50. If you have a winning ticket,
Mitchell went nuts.
Send it our way. Mitchell at 45. 45 for 45 in Paris.
This hot stretch continues. Yesterday, I wish you were here yesterday. We had John Fanta on before he had the call. And, we were talking about what this team does now. And, one of the things that he definitively ruled out, you probably will too, they are not in the market to move Mobley. He said he's definitely not a chip.
He also said Jared Allen's getting 40-something more touches.
40 more touches per game.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was
with
that
this
high.
new. I'm crazy. We looked at each other like that's got to be a mistake.
He's been
that's
playing well.
That's nearly a touch a minute more than what he was getting.
Well.
That tells me before his usage was just he was way underutilized.
We'll talk Cavs when it's not the day
We need to get Denzel Ward a bunch
game.
of touches. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Denzel Ward is going to be key. Well, we have good news because Denzel Ward is. All signs now are pointing toward Denzel playing. We've been fooled in the past with him where we sat here on Friday and said, looks like he's going to go, and then come Sunday, he's not out there. But I talked to Jimmy yesterday at length. He believes that he's going to go. The Browns are saying he's going to play. That's great news. I think it was a tweak that he felt. And Jimmy said shortly after it, he was, off to the side with other corners, sort of goofing around, and it wasn't like it was a major injury and they had to cart him in to run other tests.
Rappaport also yesterday said that he's okay.
He's a go. Yeah. All things considered here.
Yeah.
If on the scale of how you feel, 10 is I'm not even worried. This is a win. 1 is they're going to lose this game. Where are we right now? 29 hours to kick, Vinny. I'm sorry. You're just Vinny to me now.
I'm at an 8.5.
Oh, good. Okay.
I feel very good about a Browns win. Listen, it's the NFL. The Browns are only a 2-point favorite. They're on the road. It'd be silly.
And that's getting smaller.
Yeah, it's gone down to 2.
Yeah.
Even 8.5 may be overly aggressive.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I am
That's
too.
too aggressive?
Well,
I felt
whatever how you feel.
I just feel very good about this game.
Okay.
Not a short thing. Certainly the Browns could lose it. I'm not going to be blown away if they lose, but I'll be surprised if they lose. I feel like they're the better team. I feel like even though C.J. Stroud is probably the better quarterback, I think for right now I'd rather have Joe Flacco in this situation versus a rookie in his first start. Yeah. And I look at and I compare the teams, and I think the Browns are better. I think they'll be able to throw the ball better, and that's the only thing that maybe the Texans would do better. Defensively, across the board, the Browns are way better than the Texans.
The Texans have been pretty good on stopping
against
the
run, but they've been terrible in the past, and that's what the Browns want to do.
True.
The Browns' defense has been, for the most part, very good against both. And I don't think the Texans are going to be able to run the ball against the Browns. I don't like their back, even though he's been decent. And I think if you become one-dimensional against the Browns, you got no chance.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's why I feel really good
8.5. I think that might lead the way. Where are you? I don't know. G might be higher than that.
G's at 11 and 3/4.
Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
What do you have, Jay?
If it was in Cleveland, I'd be at 9.5, 9 3/4. But the fact that it's down there, I'm probably around a 7.
Yeah.
So not much lower than you. But the thing that concerns me is Flacco has been prone to turn it over. And that's the one thing that concerns me. Now he has more of an eraser to get it back on the other side. But if they start giving him short fields, I just think that it could lead to problems on the road. Sure. So really, it's the uncertainty of the kicking game, and it's the propensity to turn the ball over that has me most concerned. I do think the Browns are going to win this game. I'm not overly concerned about it, but I agree with you. I'd rather have Flacco than Stroud. Long term, obviously, you take Stroud. One game, one playoff game, Joe's history on the road versus C.J. Stroud making his first playoff start, even if it is at home. D'Amico Ryans coaching in his first playoff game, even if it is at home. I like the Browns' chances.
Listen, man, I feel like I'm kind of over the top. But Bull
You
actually,
think?
You think, right?
Was it the hat?
Well, I don't know.
Or the double vest?
I don't. Two vests at the same time. But Bull is higher than me on this one. I'm only gonna give it an 8.
Wow. Did not expect that.
I'm gonna give it an 8, and the reason why I respect any team that's in the playoffs. If you are in the playoffs, that shows me you're a team that can win multiple ways. It shows me a team that is really good coached, and it shows me that you have some playmakers there. But for me, I look at it from a standpoint of saying, okay, look, if I go position by position, the only position I could even think about giving the Texans is probably quarterback or probably receiver. But I still edge Amari Cooper over Nico Collins. I still edge slightly Joe Flacco over C.J. Stroud. So for me, I think they win in all those other positions. But since it is a playoff game, they are at home. C.J. Stroud does provide a punch and a shot in the arm for their offense compared to what Case Keenum was doing. I just go ahead and say that I'm going to give them an 8 confidence that they can take care of this game. However, that 2 points, I don't think during any playoff series I would go above an 8. That's the highest I would go
for the spread.
Yeah, because I give everybody a puncher's chance in the playoffs.
Well, everybody has a puncher's chance in the playoffs because they've, like you said, they've all punched their ticket. They're all deserving teams, or they wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
For me, I can't go that high. I'm going to come in at the lowest here, and I'm a 6.5. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the way I would start my thinking on this. If they were equally matched teams and they were playing on a neutral site, it would be a 5. Obviously. I mean, you would think that neither team has an advantage, and there's no home field advantage, so it's a 5. The game is in Houston, so that ticks them up just a little bit, and the fact that they've got a lot of their horses back that they didn't have when they lost in Houston. And for me, because of that, I think, talking to a lot of fans this week, I think the trap that the fans, I don't think the Browns are falling into this trap, but I think the fans are falling into this trap. We crushed them on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's meaningless.
We crushed them. That's a trap.
Yeah,
that is a trap because they were playing without their best offensive player and 2 of their best defensive players, and they are all back. And because of that, I just think it's going to be a little bit closer than most of us think. So for that reason, I'm at a 6. I feel comfortable that the Browns will win, but I can't go to a 7 or an 8 or an 8.5 because I think this is going to be a close, very close game that's decided by a drive late in the fourth quarter. Hope I'm wrong on that, but that's the way I see it.
Well, it's a playoff game. You're probably not.
Yeah,
a lot of regular season games are that.
Most of them are.
Yeah.
And I just think that because C.J. Stroud wasn't on the field the first time, that if you think about it, a lot of people said, well, he wasn't playing defense and the Browns still put up a lot of points. No, he wasn't. But because their offense was so one and done on the drives and they were so ineffective, that gave the Browns offense more time to operate and more opportunities to score points. I can see, I looked at the drive charts this year for the Texans because I wanted to see how are they scoring their touchdowns. Are they quick strike? They've had some quick strike touchdowns for sure, but they have done a very good job this year of getting the ball, keeping the ball, driving the length of the field, and punctuating that drive with a touchdown. If they do that, that keeps the ball away from the Browns offense, and just by definition, it's going to be a closer game because of that.
If they do that, you're right. It will be a close game. And even though I'm very confident, I still have it as I have the Browns winning by 7. So it's not like I have a blowout in this game. But the Browns all year have been the hardest team to do that against.
You're absolutely right.
By far.
That's our strength.
Yes.
And we haven't given up typically those long 80-yard, 7-minute drives that end in touchdowns. A lot of our touchdowns have come on short fields after turnovers.
Right.
So I do think the Browns are going to win. I'm not losing sleep for sure over it. But it's not like you said. In the playoffs, anybody can win. Nothing is a sure thing. And it wouldn't shock me if we're sitting here next week talking about what the Browns are going to do this offseason. I mean, I don't expect to be doing that.
I don't want to have that conversation.
But I know, it's depressing to think about. I don't expect that we'll be doing that.
Yeah.
But like you, I'm not going to be surprised if that's where we are.
No.
We're going to go into what we think the perfect game plan would be for the Browns